Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Sims Medieval, here in Mossstone Kingdom, where Her Royal Majesty Briar Rose the Great is currently attempting to hear some petitions, which is kind of important because last time we messed up a couple petitions by not having enough money in the Royal Treasury to host a King Ball game, and it actually dramatically affected our popularity and made Briar Rose quite unpopular. But by having the royal peasantry, I mean our citizens, actually pay for the Royal King Ball Court, we like doubled our treasury income, so there is that. But we're trying to recover some of our popularity, and I'm trying to remember how we can figure out how popular we are. I'm not sure if there's like a way that you can check like just how popular the queen is with, like, we're Queen Briar Rose the Great right now. And I would love to know if there's like a way to measure how popular the queen is. But we have 2 more petitions to hear before we can move on to the quest of the day, which is actually going to be trying to convince some of the townsfolk to go and attend Brother Davis's sermon as a kindness to him. Which I do think she'd want to do, just as a kindness out of this curious Spitarian faith, to see what will come of it, now that we have a monastery here. So we need to do that with the queen before we can move on to the quest, and we also need to stick a parrot on a guild emissary, so maybe the fact that she sometimes does things like that are a little mean reflects on the fact that, you know, she might want to do something nice for Brother Davis, who just sincerely seems to want to watch after the little orphans of the kingdom and do good works. Right now he's having a good chat. I think I'm gonna go ahead and let him come over and make some food in just a second. So let's have him make some food. And now we're listening to a petition. My neighbor has trimmed his shrubs into rude and vulgar shapes. I seek permission to burn them to the ground with fire. Now we can either burn them to the ground, because fire is a good tool. It's both powerful and completely in our control. I will allow this. Or we shall go ahead and say fire seems bad. There's no law that strictly prohibits vulgar shrubbery, not unless it portrays the monarch in a negative light. Permission must be denied. I think we're going to go ahead and say fire seems bad, because fire does seem bad, and perhaps this trimming of the shrubbery has something to do with the new cultural movement in town. So fire seems bad. What? Must I describe what the shrubs are doing with one another? I cannot. Don't make me. Alright, so we kind of have her all flustered, but we are not going to give in. Fire seems bad. Oop, and now we need to go ahead and let's make some rabbit stew. No, Jasmine the commoner. We must allow this to just pass as it is. Perhaps this is part of the new cultural movement. There is a cultural fair in town, and it's introducing all manner of unique, I suppose, shrubbery shapes to the kingdom. And I do think Briar Rose is quite intrigued by all of the new things that have been popping up, including Brother Davis's stuff. We're gonna go ahead and let him eat, and then after he eats... Come on, Brother Davis. Go ahead, eat that rabbit stew. Come on. You got some stuff to do. Petarian progress. What is this? Petarian's progress. Let's see. He needs to study the Watcher for 2 hours. While the mysteries of the Watcher are infinite, I should try to make some headway in my research. Doing so will further my connection to the Watcher and my congregation. That does sound important, so I'm going to go ahead and have him study the Watcher for the 2 hours that he needs to do, and we're on our way to another one of these petitions. The last one we need to hear today, actually. Rise, Marciello the villager. And we've got Gardana watching over us to make sure he doesn't suddenly pull a knife and try to, like, end our reign. My liege, I have little money and no possessions save for a peasant-grade loot. I live only on donations from kind citizens and for performing for the local children. But now I must produce 300 simoles or I lose my home. We could take pity and say musicians are beloved in the community. It would not reflect well on the monarch if I allow one of their favorite performers to become a homeless beggar, and it would cost us 300 simoles. Or we could say, no pity for you. The castle cannot simply dispense large sums of money to every sad person in the kingdom. If I gave handouts now, where would they end? We will actually give pity specifically because he is a musician. And musician, there we go. Specifically because of that, and because it is the cultural fair, and because I think Briar Rose feels a little guilty about the amount of money we got from the King Ball Court. So we'll take pity. I am overcome by your generosity, your majesty. I shall write a ballad in your honor and perform it for all who will hear. And oh my gosh, our popularity has massively increased. The nation offers its soaring approval of her actions. Excellent! Clearly, this is what we needed to do. Briar Rose is being held in very high esteem right now. Let's stop holding court before that changes. And let's actually see if we can come over and let's see. Let's convince him to attend the sermon. Now that we have done such a good deed for him, he better stick around. Hold still, good man, and go to the sermon. We're trying to do good deeds all around. I did a good deed for you. You can do a good deed for me. How dare you? Marcello, Brother Davis feels out of touch with folks like yourself and would like you at his sermon. Did we convince him? Yeah, we did. Okay, that actually went over quite well. Wonderful. And let's grab Inesetta. Let's call for food. And then, you know, Gardana seems... That's so. I was going to hang out at the cultural fair, but maybe I can make it. Yes, Lady Briar Rose the Great. I will get some food right away. It seems Gardana is having a hard time lately, so let's convince her to go attend the sermon. And then Penelope the flower seller. I'm sure your lovely face and your lovely hair will make the sermon even more exciting. All right, Gardana. I hope we convinced her. The Petarian faith needs you, and your mother would have wanted you at the next sermon, you know. That's interesting, because maybe her mom was the human, and because she is part elf. Come back here, flower seller Penelope. You are quite lovely, and I'm sure that you will make an excellent addition to the, an excellent addition to everything. My mother hated Brother Davis and the Petarian faith, but I hated her, so I'll attend. Interesting. Maybe that's why she's so conflicted, and maybe that's why Gardana is actually here in the castle instead of with the other elves, because she maybe had like a conflict of faith between the two things. So maybe her mother was an elf, and like she just didn't follow the elfish beliefs. That might explain why we're doing this. Okay, okay. We're going to have flower seller Penelope go because we're being quite clever and convincing people of note, like King Froggo, to go to the sermon. So we're making it exciting. Clever, Queen Briarrose, clever. Manipulating the right people into attending should hopefully make it exciting no matter what happens. The wonders of modern society, like the new spectacles of eyewear invention, are clearly preventing you from seeing the world clearly. What? If you say so, Queen Briarrose. Perhaps I shall visit Brother Davis's next sermon. Wonderful! We're not overselling it, I don't think. And I think we're convincing just the right people to go. People who owe us favors, people who we respond well to, and people who are of note themselves. Brother Davis greatly needs your advice on how to reach out to today's society. Clever! Clever words for a man who was once upon a time. This is King Froggo. He's from a previous quest where he used to be a talking frog, cursed by his wife, who now rules over his kingdom. She now rules as queen in the kingdom that she kicked him out of because she caught him snogging the maidservant, which is not cool, King Froggo. You should not have that kind of violation of authority. But... I will go because I greatly respect you, Lady Briarrose the Great. A little too much, even. Hey now, King Froggo, you can't worm your way back into being king. Well, actually, that would be a little ironic, wouldn't it? Is he sticking around because he wants to become king of Mossstone Kingdom? He can't become king of his land now because the queen is a really powerful witch and probably has been there for years, maybe even so long that he doesn't even have an opportunity to take back his throne. Who knows how old he is after that curse, right? But maybe he's sticking around even though he had that fling with our spy, Janetti, because he wants to try a marriage of alliance with Lady Briarrose the Great. What? What? I'm on to you, King Froggo! I'm on to you! Oh my gosh, that's very exciting. All right, let's go ahead and turn back over here where we are still studying the Watcher for 11 hours. Oh wait, no, that's the time left. For 1 more hour, and we need to give a sermon on waning faith. Now that Lady Briarrose the Great set me up with a good audience, I can share my problems with them. I've done my part. Now Brother Davis better use this sermon to learn what today's youth desires. All right, and hopefully he'll be able to do that. So the next sermon is going to be... Let's do 1 p.m.? Yeah, he just finished his studies, I think. Did he finish his studies? He still has to study for like 53 more minutes, but I think we'll go ahead and just call it there. Oh, and look at this, Acolyte Dad. I wanna ask how fare thee, because you're being quite kind in cleaning the front room. That's very nice of you. Oh, look! Gardana's here! Excellent. Okay, is it almost time? Okay, we did give our sermon. Gardana is now here. There's Flower Seller Penelope! Hopefully this will be a good sermon. Alright, let's come on in. Let's give the sermon. We're feeling good. We've been picking wildflowers. We ate some delicious, yummy rabbit stew. We had a good night's sleep. We had a good dream. We have a job well done. The Watcher's insight from studying the Watcher. Davis has been granted the insight of the Watcher. Interesting. Alright. Let's give an insightful... Oh, we can give an insightful sermon because in a thoughtful tone expounding on the wisdom of the Watcher because he studied the Watcher. That is such a cool little detail. I wouldn't have known that unless we had like scheduled the sermon right after his studying. Alright, let's see if we can make this a popular sermon or not. I hope so. Whoops, I want to get in there. Whoa! Congratulations! Davis has reached level 2 of the Paterian Priest. And we now have Paterian Priests are ascetics devoted to their faith. They preach compassion and understanding and try to encourage others to live their lives according to the Watcher's principles. So he now has a better chance of a successful sermon at the pulpit. He has a better chance of a successful evangelizing at the platform. He has a better chance of converting Sims, and he can study and write the Watcher at the archives. Interesting. I think that's about the same as he used to be able to do. And it seems everybody is enjoying the thoughtful sermon. And we do have King Froggo and Gardana in here. So that's going well. And meanwhile, Lady Briarrose, you actually need to sick a parrot on somebody. But don't you dare insult me! I just saw that Deidre was trying to insult us again. Alright, Lady Briarrose, can you actually, like... how do I have her sick her parrot? Give me just a second. I have to remember. Where's my parrot? There's my parrot. Call Dragon. And then we'll have her sick her parrot on someone real quick. Because this is going to be a little while. He's got a long sermon. He's got quite the insightful and long sermon to give. But what a cool pose. How nice. And he's got a good speaking voice. Alright, Lady Briarrose. I'm going to jump back over to you just really quickly. Hey, Dragon. And we're going to sick Dragon on... Oh, I guess he has to be, like, in the area. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, feed Dragon, and maybe send him treasure hunting. And we'll have him go be sicked on somebody later. Alright, back to our insightful sermon. Flower Seller Penelope. It seems to be going over well. We're gaining a lot of experience. The area is nicely decorated. Flower Seller Penelope was having a little bit of an argument with somebody. Or a disagreement at least. But otherwise, the spinster, the villager, everybody seems okay. I might want to get more pews. That's actually a good thing. If I have to, can I get more pews? I don't want to do it right now and like break the quest, but that would be kind of cool if I could get more pews. Popularity level low. Is this helping? Brother Davis's sermon was well received by the congregation, and the church received 74 in donations. I don't know if that was well received enough, though. Alright, let's see. So we gave a sermon on waning faith, I think. Maybe? Didn't we do that? I can share my problems with them. Wait, did I not do it right? Oh no! Respond to questions. That's, man, alright, we'll go ahead and allow him. It looks like King Froggo is taking this pretty seriously. But I guess I didn't do the right kind of sermon. So give a sermon on waning faith. Huh. I thought I was doing that, but maybe I wasn't. It's not to evangelize. Gardana is even looking into this now. So, I mean, and we're giving hugs to people. We had a good response from the people who showed up. I just think I did it wrong, unfortunately. All right, Lady Briarrose. We're also listening to Buildmaster Randolph. Lady Briarrose, let's actually go over here to the forest outskirts because I actually need to discuss the state of the kingdom with this fellow because I have to sick a parrot on a guild emissary for some reason. I'll show those guildsmen exactly what Mossstone thinks of them. How symbolic of me to use the pirate mascot to humiliate the consortium. So I think we have to gently threaten a pirate. Unfortunately. That makes things interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and study the Watcher with Brother Davis. And then, oh, Dragon just returned with some gold. How dare you pull out that sword at that time? Let's stick the parrot on. This guy. Attack! Go, Dragon! We want to show this man what for. That's right. Alright. That's so funny. Alright, well, we've got to show him what for. I think that did it. Good job. Alright, they're good. And we finished that up. And let's actually send Dragon out treasure hunting. And I'm just going to go ahead and instead of wrestling with the guards. Oh my gosh. Maybe she just likes the guards for some reason. I'm going to let Lady Briarrose just gather some wildflowers and go back to Brother Davis. Because I want to make sure that we do this right. Alright, he's studying the Watcher. Lady Briarrose has gathered some wildflowers. And we have a new sermon set for the 6 p.m. time. So let's come in here and see if I can do this right this time. So 6 p.m. We're feeling good. We're being watched over by the Watcher. Give sermon on waning faith. That's what we needed to do. On it. Alright. And let's figure out what kind of sermon. People are kind of squirming around. Let's give a humorous sermon. Welcome, sister and brothers of Mossstone. The Petarian Church has a problem. I have a problem. What is it? Okay, not humorous, not humorous. Let's go with somber again. How's somber? Nope. What about casual? Okay, casual is actually getting giggles from people. You are losing touch with faith. What about insightful? Is that getting... people are scooching around? I wonder if people getting up... Oh, look at that! But actually Jasmine is comforting Gardana. Yeah, insightful has a lot of chuckles this time. I think, like, insightful because I'm losing touch with you. See, and this is an insightful conversation if you ask me. So we're gonna go ahead and let him carry on. Alright, I think popularity is inching upwards. Everybody seems to be being nice to each other, which is really cool to see. Come on. Come on, Brother Davis. I know not what you like to read, to say, or wear. Whose home you like to get drunk in, I know not. Ah, so we have lost touch with them. That's probably from his insecure roots. He's thinking that. Oh no, Flowers, Penelope, Jasmine. Oh, there. They settled their differences. This is good to see amongst our congregation. Now that I have their attention, I need to choose how to discover their desires. And here we go! Alright, so we have the attention of the people of our congregation, but how will we choose to bond with them? Choose to become able to understand their desires? Let's see what our choices are. How should Brother Davis divine his congregation's wishes? Should we walk among them and discuss their desires? Or as their spiritual leader, should I be able to learn their desires through prayer? I feel like Brother Davis would normally just go ahead and pray to the Watcher to figure it out. But after having seen the cultural fair, he realizes there's things that not even he fully understands. So he might walk among them and listen to their desires and then double check by praying to the Watcher later. So let's have him listen. Oh, and there we go. All right, and now we actually need to ask each of the people who came what their desires are, which I think is very interesting. So that's going to tell us more about those different characters on some level too, which will be really fun. So all right, we're going to have Brother Davis carry on and try very hard to watch over his congregation next time. If you guys could, please leave a like in order to give, I guess, a donation to Brother Davis for all of his hard efforts. And if you would like to join Mossstone Kingdom and perhaps have some of Inesetta's delicious stew, even though she is an evil servant, she does make excellent stew, then please consider subscribing. And of course, let me know what you guys think about the development of our stories in your comments, because we are really picking up the pace and starting to get into some very interesting stories, if you ask me. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!